Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to more Understand. Last episode was a train wreck of massive proportions. 4-6 is effed. I have no idea what's going on in this one right here. I just don't see... Not this one. This one. I don't see any way that this is possible. So, I am going to not look at it today. I'm not wasting all of our time by looking at that again. I'm jumping into 4-7, okay? A little bit of 4-7 action. Let's see what's going on. So, we got a 3-banger and a 1-banger. Let's try to reverse it. Also works there, okay? What if we do 3-banger, 2-banger? Don't like that? Okay. 3-banger, 1-banger. 3-banger, 1-banger. Doesn't matter where the squares are. 3-banger, 1-banger. 4-banger, 1-banger. 3-banger, 1-banger. Okay. 3-banger, 1-banger. Hey, batter, batter, hey, batter, batter. What if we did something like this, right? Okay. So you don't like having 2 3-bangers and 1 1-banger. What if instead you just had 1-bangers? Okay, you don't like that either. Number 1 is don't touch a shape. It's the same as it always is, right? What is number 2 though? 3-banger, 2 1-bangers you don't like. In fact, that fails everything. How about, well, I mean, we got a lot of issues, right? We got a lot of issues because when you come like this, you got 4 1-bangers, right? But the only way you can make a 3-banger in the bottom right corner, never mind. I mean, you could do this, right? But then it touches. The only way you can make a 3-banger down here is if this is filled in, right? And that remains the same up here, right? The only way you get this is if you got all of this and this. So there's no physical way to make a 3-banger out of the middle. Which tells me... What does it tell me, right? It tells me that if we're going to have a 3-banger, it's got to be in the middle. But then... how do you make a 3-banger in the middle that fulfills something that you're looking for, right? And that's the question of the hour. I mean, we don't really know. We don't really know what the vibe is. You could do a 2-banger there. You could do a 3-banger there, but that still is not helping us in any way. You can... Okay. What have we learned here? I mean, we kind of have this snaking around thing going on. What if we do that? You still like that. You still like that. You still like that. As soon as we split it, then you don't like that. So I think it's going to be you gotta have only 2 parts, right? I mean, is that... You can only have 2 parts? That fails the first one, but it has 2 parts, right? The problem is you're in a loop, right? So you gotta figure out when to break the loop. I mean, something... Maybe... So how about this? Interesting. So, I mean, this is just like a really chunky 3-banger. Okay. 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 I'll leave that be for right now. We may come back to this as an idea. Because now I'm kind of looking at, right? So, if we can scale these up, it's reminding me of the last puzzle, is basically what I'm thinking. If we can scale these up, what happens here? You don't like that. Okay. But I'm thinking, what if in the last puzzle we could make a shape like this instead? I don't know. Maybe not. This works. Why does this work? Why does this work? Dude, I have no freaking clue why this works, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, this is there's only one solution there, for sure. Still splits into 2 spots. Equal number of squares is not... I mean, it makes no sense, right? There's no reasonable solution to that. That does not work. What? So, I'm looking at the scaling up, right? So, like, that's 3. That's a big 3, but I'm thinking, like, what if you got, like... What if you do something... What if it's like this? Okay. So it's like cut in half, kind of. And then this one you do like... you do... I don't know, man. These are so hard. They got so difficult. So it's kind of cut in half. Obviously that's not cut in half. And neither is that. But like... What the... I have no idea why this works. I have no freaking clue why this works, dude. Okay, no, you know what? I do understand why it works. You have to cut off a piece. You gotta separate 2 pieces so it cuts off, where if you combine them, it formed a square. That's what it is. That's a really weird one, for the record. I mean, that's a super weird one, so like that's the answer, because this combined makes the 3x3 square. That's so freaking odd. But we understand it, so like, who cares? It's fine, right? It's fine. So this one, believe it or not, I already know the answer to. It's gonna be... No, it's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be that at all. We want a 4x4 square. Well, no, we don't. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. How do I want to put these guys into my square? You know you can't... You can't touch the square. So, like, I'm looking at something like this. But that obviously is not gonna work. There's another where we know what to do. It's just, how do you do it now? So how do you take what you have here and turn it into a square? The problem is it has to be 4x4, right? Well, I mean, we don't know that. We don't know if you can maybe do a rectangle instead. But these are all squares. So I genuinely think that it's gonna be a square. So we're dealing with this 4x4 block, right? Now, can you split it into 3 pieces? No, you can't. We proved that here. We proved that here. So it's got to be 2 pieces. Do the squares have to be part of the piece? Because what if we did something... Well, no, you know what they do? Because you can't touch them. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Okay. But then how do you get these combined? I still think that you can maybe have 2 of them in there, right? So you do like something like this. So you definitely can't have 2. You can't split it up by 3. So what if you instead... What if it doesn't have to be a square, right? That's the next question. So you've got a big old chunk that you take out of it. What does that big old chunk look like? You're gonna take out... Well, you're gonna take out like this whole chunk here. Except all the way to here. Probably not, actually. The problem is, like, how do you form your boundaries? These are each 8 across. 4 up. For a total of, this is 11 by 4. So you have to figure out how to fit a block into there. What if you can do 2 separate ones? Like, I know that sounds absolutely insane. So you got a 3 by there, and then you also do... What the hell are we doing? So you got a 3 by over there, and then you get a 2 by or another 3 by over here. So you can't do 2 separate ones. So it's got to be one big square. We just have to figure out how to make a block of it go in. What if we just got 2 squares? Okay. You don't like that. We finally understand, not to be punny in any way, we finally understand how to make it happen. We just can't get it, just can't figure out how to fit it in there, right? Can't figure out how to fit it in there. So we have, that can fit right on top of it, right? So you kind of do like this, right? And he slides in right on top of there. It looks good. You're in a square. The problem is you gotta have only 2. But that creates even bigger issues, right? Like how do you... I think rectangles are fine, for the record. They're not. They're not fine. It has to be a square. So how do you make this a square, dude? It has to be 4 by 4 or 3 by 3, but they're all so split up. They're all so split up. This is what we're missing. Okay? This is what we're missing. So you got to do this through here. Oh, I'm a god. I'm a god, kind of. Here's the problem with that. Is it gets split up, right? It gets split up. We form 2 spots. I mean, this is going to be more than 2 spots. This is 3 spots. This felt so brilliant to me, what I was thinking. Because I'm trying to figure out how do you connect these, right? Because obviously you can't fit 2 things that are a 4 block apart inside of a 3 by 3 grid. So you have to find some other way to connect these together. So now I'm looking at, like, you know, what if you have a block like this, but then this also filled in? But that's not enough for these guys. And 4 by 5 ain't gonna cut it. I'm gonna tell you, it ain't gonna cut it. So I was looking at this. But it's not doable. The problem is there's no way, short of going straight like this, which we can't do. Can we do this? Maybe we can do this. Hold up. So now we're here. We need a 3 by block. I mean, maybe there can be overlap, I suppose. So it's like this? No. What do we got wrong here? What if you instead do this? What if you can touch it? What if this entire time you could touch the top? Obviously that's not gonna work. Can we pathfind some way that this works? I don't actually think we can. I don't think you can touch the shape ever. Like that will always fail. It's again, dude, it's shapes that I just don't understand. I mean, that has to be my dilemma here, is it's just shapes I don't understand. These shapes make no sense to me. So we could split like a big block off like that. And then you do, you need to fit it It'd be like this. See, that forms a rectangle, right? That forms a rectangle, but a rectangle is no good in their eyes. They do not like rectangles. So it has to be a square, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I'm not gonna waste our time. You know, we made it decently far. It's another one to look at in the future. 2, 1, 1. Okay. How about 3, 2, 1? Okay. So the number of squares you have is the number of cells you need. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Fill them all in. 4, 2, 2. Okay. This is where it gets weird, for sure. This is definitely where it's gonna get weird. So we gotta think about this. Because there's a lot of dilemmas here, actually. There's a lot of dilemmas here. We need to do some testing here. It appears that you cannot touch the shapes. We could have tested that here as well. So that automatically tells us some pretty important stuff, right? Never mind. It teaches us nothing. What? What? I don't understand. I don't understand, but that's okay. Just keep it going. So 3 and 4 you don't like. Why don't you? This is where the mind melts, right? This is where you were like, huh? You thought you knew what you were doing, but you don't. So what changed? We've had a 3 across. Isolating that was fine. We haven't had a 4 across. So how do we properly isolate the 4 across? And what changed here that was different, right? We can't isolate any of these guys alone. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 2, 2, 4. So 1 and 2 add up to 3. Okay, so hear me out, right? Definitely thought that could have been it. Because it's 4. No, but that doesn't make any sense. We need to have a 1 in the corner. Because 3 and 1 add up to 4. Okay. So 1 and 1 add up to 2. Interesting. What if it's just this? So 1 and 1 add up to 2. I get it, okay? So 2 and 3 add up to 5. You like it, but you don't. That's because it's not just add up to 5. It has to look like it too. It has to look like it. So there's no way that these can combine to be, yeah, I get it. So then 3 and 2 add up to 5. This makes sense. For once, this makes sense. So a 1 and a 3. No, because you didn't isolate it. A 1. Well, I mean, what if we did a 2 instead? A 2 and a 2 add up to 4. Does this make any sense, what I'm doing? Because I caught this one quick and rolled with it. So I hope this actually makes sense. And then I'm going to get stuck on 4, 8, 9 for the rest of my life. And that's going to be that. Okay, so let's isolate this like so for right now. So you got... I kind of want to do some weird stuff. So say that this is a body of 6, okay? That's where I want to look at this to start. Then you got a 1, a 2, and a 3. Or a 4 and a 2, except that actually will not work because you gotta isolate this. I like starting in the bottom for this one, actually. So you got... Actually, I don't think I like starting in the bottom at all. You got a 2. You got a 2. Can you make another 2? in some way. I don't actually think it's possible at all, because if you're gonna have this in the bottom corner, you gotta do it like this. So how do we make another 2 in this process? Or how do we expand to have a 4 instead? That's what we gotta look at. So we could theoretically... I'm just looking at how things can be split up. And I'm looking at some... Just bear with me. I'm looking at something like this. You can't have 2 of the same one. Well, no, this actually makes no sense, because you gotta have the same number of squares. So this doesn't make sense. But I like where my head's at. What if you do something... What if you do... So you've got that shape there. And this shape here. It's not... It doesn't... I mean, it doesn't look the same, right? It doesn't look the same. This is a tough one. This is a tough one, but it's a doable one. I understand what we have to do. It's just doing it. So, like, I'm looking at something like this. It's too many parts, right? There's too many parts. It's tough. I mean, dude, it's hard. It's hard. That's gonna be the same vibe again. I just did it in reverse, more or less. And in fact, it's not even gonna work like that. I still think that there's gonna be something like having this be its own governing body, having this be its own governing body, like some kind of... You gotta have 2 of these in here, right? So you can then do something like this, but you gotta have it kind of fully isolated. That creates its own set of issues, for sure. So then you look at something like this, right? That has its own set of issues. So then you look at something that gets, like, really weird. Like, what if you... No. I don't think so. I don't think so. What if you then wrap... What if you do this? So then you gotta fit 2 1s in here. That doesn't really make any sense. What if you do something like this? A 1 and a 2? Can we get a... Wait, I'm now working, like, way different than what we were before. I'm thinking about the other one, dude, which we cannot do. So whatever shape we make over here, so say the shape is that. We gotta make that shape over here with these 2. So it's gonna look like what? What is it gonna look like? It requires 7 blocks filled in. So you've got something like... That's obviously 6. I mean, that's 7, but you can't split it like that. That's now 5. You can't do that either. Dude, how do people do these so fast? Like, props to you if you're good at this game, because I'm not, in case you haven't noticed. It's just so difficult. So those go together. There we go. You know what? I'm proud of myself. I really am. I'm proud of myself. We got there. We got there. What the hell is dash dash 2, my dude? What the hell is dash dash 2? I think I hate it. I think I do. This episode has to end a little early today. Sorry, I'm short on time today. I'm gonna hopefully get some feedback from you guys on 4-6 so we can go back to this, but I want to explore the idea of doing, like, I don't know, like, I'm seeing something like this in here. Remind me again. So it's just a smaller version of it. What if it was something like something like this, but then this has to be a small 3 boy. But then he's facing the wrong way. It's something like this. I guarantee you it's something like this. I was awakened by this shape, which I did not normally understand. I'll take a look at it off camera, I think. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, liking the video, much appreciated. I love all your support on this series. It's one of my favorite I'm running on my channel right now. So bless you if you are watching to the end of each episode. I love you. I love you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.